How about a couple more treat holders, this time made with the Swiss Delice chocolates? A little bit ago, I shared this project, and you can get the link to the project in the description below. And these are using the Hershey nuggets. But I had folks say to me from Canada, I can't get the nuggets. So these are the ones that we can get. They come in Costco, actually, and they're Swiss Delice or Delice. I'm going to show you how to make these ones, and I'm going to make them just slightly different than this one. So for this project, we are going to use the Full of Life Designer Series paper. And this one has so many fun patterns on it and lots of different colors. So it's got squares and dots and circles, and it's got as well some, where are they? The sunburst ones. And then on the back, it has some gorgeous watercolor looks. So what we're going to play with, this is a perfect project if you have a little packet of scraps, just like this. So you can use up a lot of your scraps and cut them into smaller pieces. So I've pulled in some blue ones here, ones that have lots of blue, little bits of green in them that we're going to use for these chocolates, and then also a piece of our blueberry bushel. So we need our trimmer again, and we are going to score this one also with a 1/4 inch, which is the same as the other one. So you're going to move your trimmer over to the 1/4 inch on the right-hand side. And you just want to give that a good score. Make sure you're using your scoring, sort of that taupe colored one. And then also we're going to use the right hand or left hand score as well and do the exact same thing. Give that a nice good score line. You're going to take your bone folder and you're going to fold that up. And again, you can get all the measurements for these chocolates on my blog, and they're a little bit different than the nuggets one. I just measured everything so that it would work for you. Now, last time I used the Seal Plus, which works great. It is my adhesive of choice for doing this. But I want to show you just how you can use your tear and tape. So tear and tape does not need to be I'm going to actually do all of these on the back side. So similar to the other ones, you want to make sure you put your glue on the back side. So when you're using your tear and tape, it really is terrible. So you want to put a piece on either end of your little piece of Designer Series paper, and you can just tear it. It doesn't have to go exactly all the way from one side to the other. And if you happen to do what I just did, which is just tear up a little piece, don't worry about that. You could just tear that off so it's gone and then keep going. So I do find the Seal Plus just a little bit quicker to work with than this, but if you only have tear and tape, it might be a perfect time to use it. So you do need to get those backings off. So if you have nails, you can pull them off. If you don't, take your pick tool and go from the side. So rather than going from the edge where it's going to be a little bit harder, just go from the side and lift up that backing. And we'll do that for all of them here. And just pull it aside. Now make sure you don't put anything on top of that to stick. You could also do these as you come to them. I just think it's a little bit quicker probably to do these like this. So if you need favors for kids' birthday parties, if you need something for the table for a party that you're having, for a dinner party you're having, this would be great. Okay, so I again put this on where the flap is. These ones are actually glued down, but I'm going to put it on. It needs to be a little bit fatter, obviously, than for the nuggets, but just go right across, again, making it fairly snug. You're going to do that for all of them. And I always go into the same spot. I just find it's very consistent. Oh, see, now that's stuck to me. And this last guy here. So I always start on the bottom because I think as people are going to unwrap them, that's where they're going to be looking for it. Okay, so we've got our pieces all with great color on them. Now this one actually is more green rather than my blue, so I could have gone with a Lost Lagoon as well. And I'm just going to go down the middle with my Stampin' Seal. And I need to decide what's going to go where. I think maybe I'll put this one here right at the bottom. So put it and line it up with the bottom of the cardstock. This one's going to go in the middle. And then this one is going to go up here. So that one is actually just a little bit over the edge, but that's okay. And I had shared that I got these little baggies quite a while ago on Amazon, and they have a gusset in them. I'm not sure if you can still get them now, but if you get one that is 6 inches tall, it seems to be the perfect height for setting 3 of these either nuggets or these chocolates in it. And I have the gusseted ones, but it doesn't need to be the gusseted ones because this is a fairly narrow, it will fit into the ones that are just 2 by 6 inches tall. So that is how it's going to look. And we are going to tie a ribbon around that, and we are going to use boho glue. And I have one already cut here. So again, we are just going to tie this. I'm going to tie it with 1 knot though, because I'm going to do a little bit something different with the finish on this one. So let's just set that aside for a moment. We are going to be using the Hooray for Surprises stamp set, and I've pulled out the You're the Best. So I've got that stamp and just a piece of my basic white and my Stampin' Pierce mat, because again, this is a photopolymer. And we're going to go using Blueberry Bushel for this one. So this is a great way to use up more little scraps. So I just have a piece left over, and I know sometimes we don't want to keep all of these scraps, but this is perfect for this project. So I have a piece that matches this one right here, and it is about, maybe 1/4 of an inch thick. And I'm going to, I think I'm maybe going to glue it down like this. So just a little bit of my liquid glue along the left-hand side of my white. And that will be enough to hold it in place. And I think I'm going to start with my green at the top. And you want to try and get that as straight as possible. Let that just set up for a moment, and use your paper snips just to snip off that last little piece. It's easier actually if you turn it over, take your shank right up against the edge and just trim off that last little piece. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to take the Elegant Edge tag topper, and it's going to put a fancy little edge. So instead of just using a piece of cardstock like we did for our first project with the nuggets, we are going to give this one a little fancier top on it. And I like to do it with our designer paper along the edge. And now we're just going to use our You're the Best, and we're going to stamp that on there as straight as we can. There we go. And now what we're going to do is take a little bit of our Baker's Twine Essentials pack. And there's white, there's a light gray, there's sort of a taupey caramel color, black, and a vanilla. And I've just cut a little piece of the white for myself. And we are going to fold it in half and put the loop through the very top. And I like to put it through the top. You could also put it through the hole if you want, but I like putting it through the top. 1, it's a little easier to get it through there. And 2, it swings just a little bit better. So take that loop, open it up, and take the 2 other ends and pull that through. So now what you want to do is you can either put the whole thing in here, but I usually put just 1 in there. Then I'm going to knot this again, just so that it's nice and tight in there. So we only have 1 knot so far. We're going to put 2. I'm going to get that nice and tight up to the top, pull that tight, and then I'm going to take that other end and we're going to make a bow out of that. So a little more fiddly for sure, and you don't have to do this. This is just another added little touch. There we go. And you can make your bows as big or as small as you want. And of course we want to put a little bit of bling on there. So I'm pulling in 2 different embellishments, the adhesive backed dragonflies and birds. And on this one I'm going to put a dragonfly. And I think maybe I'll put my dragonfly right up here. And then I'm going to go in a little bit. I'm going to think, I think I'm going to put green on this one actually. So maybe just 1 little dot down there. Maybe I can mix some blue too, because they are really iridescent dots. So these are, I didn't show you, the iridescent adhesive backed discs, which are really great. So I can just go with 2, and I've got the 3 going on for my project. The last thing I need to do is just trim off these little frayed ends. And we have a great little project that you can give to somebody. Let me show you another one that I have. So this one here is much the same, but has a lot more of those blues, Then this one has greens, and this greeting comes from the So Sincere stamp set, which is a wonderful set of greetings as well. So I hope you like that project and you're going to give it a try. Anything that's flat, we can make work for this little treat. And I have one more that I want to share with you in just a little bit. But have fun playing with this. Use up all of the scraps of the designer series paper that you have. If you like this project, please hit subscribe and also give it a like. I really appreciate when you do, and thanks very much for joining me, and have a great paper crafting day.